I'd like to talk about how we're closing the achievement gap here at Blair. Quick history, we adopted the International Baccalaureate program at Wilson a number of years ago as a vehicle for change. We brought it to Blair and were authorized for the IB Middle Years program and the diploma program. The goal is to push the ceiling. By pushing the ceiling, I'm going to raise the foundation, which should close the achievement gap. But we do IB and AP here at school, and you guys are doing both of those courses. It seems like it's rather rigorous or maybe too much. So talk to me about IB versus AP. Give me some direction on perhaps one way or the other, or a combination of both. Miss Hunt, get us off the ground.
Next year and probably the year after, I'm going to be taking IB and AP tests. And I don't see the point, because the IB program is known for being an international program. I mean, most international universities will accept it as a freshman year and you start as a sophomore. I don't think that we need to be doing both programs, because they're both very, very rigorous academics. They both have tests at the end. The main difference I see is that AP program it's a test. You don't have to take a class, you just take a test. In the IB program, you take a class and you do projects and you work on it the whole time, and at the end you have the projects that you turn and you also take a test. I feel like that reflects more accurately the kind of work you do. I feel like that's a better program to keep. But I think that we should choose one over the other, because for those of us who are taking those higher classes, there's so much studying that you have to do, and a lot of the time the curriculum doesn't match, and so the teacher and the students have to cover both the parts that don't match in a year, and it's so much. And I feel like we could choose one over the other to focus our efforts on.
I think that's a good idea. I just wanted to kind of point at another example that Cecily was talking about, where it seems like the IB and the AP curriculum kind of conflicts. Like, for example, I've noticed that with biology, it's difficult to have both the IB and the AP curriculum, because the AP says that we must do labs that are based on standards or standards already set, and that we have to go about our lab at a certain pace and at a certain direction. Like the whole lab is kind of set up for us, but for IB we just kind of take that lab and we go with it where we want. So you can't teach both. It's really difficult, because that's how we prepare for our exam at the end of the year, because it talks a lot about lab work, and I think it's not helpful to sometimes have IB and AP. At the same time, I think that sometimes it's helpful to have AP, because, for example, if you're a student who wants to go into math in college or a science-related field, and there's only a standard level math course, it's not going to help you. So, but there's AP Calculus, which is what helped me. I could take standard level 1 year, and then I took AP Calculus, which really prepared me in college, and I think I might go into a science major. So I think it's helpful if we have both, because students have more of a variety to choose from. But I think that particular classes shouldn't be IB AP.
What she was going into classes being IB and AP, because there are two different learning methods, because IB is more project-based, and it's more IB is not only learning a certain material, but learning a certain material in a certain way, and AP is just learning material and you get tested on it. So you should separate the two, because AP covers, you could say, more information, because the test is different than set up in the IB, and the IB is learning different ways of learning something. You you learn math one way, you learn math another way, just covering different ways and finding the way that's best for you. But AP, you don't have time to do that, because you have to learn all this knowledge for the test. And then another thing sort of separating AP IB is because some students choose not to do the IB program but want to do a specific AP class. And so to them, it's not fair that they're learning in the IB method if they just want to take the AP class, in that one class specifically.
I think the idea in the Pasadena School District recently has been with the former superintendent Percy Clark, was to create a variety of different schools, different ways schools were set up, so that families or parents or students could choose what they wanted. I know that the new superintendent, Edwin Diaz, I think he's moving away from that, at least in the setup of having different school setups, different grade arrangements. But I feel like having the AP program and the IB program together are actually, it's a huge disadvantage to the students who are involved in them, because they can't focus on one, like Pooja was saying. I mean, you'd want to focus on one or the other. It's really difficult to focus on both. And I think as a school, we don't have the student population taking those higher level classes right now to offer both, just because there aren't enough kids. And I feel like we need to choose one or the other so that we can focus our efforts and make sure we have one really strong program instead of two relatively weak ones.